In a small, peaceful town surrounded by green fields and tall trees, there lived a 13-year-old boy named Ahmed. He was intelligent, friendly, and full of energy. His teachers often said that Ahmed had great potential. He understood lessons quickly and asked interested questions, and had a wonderful memory. But Ahmed had one serious weakness. He did not value time. Whenever his mother asked him to complete his homework, he would say, I will do it later. When his father reminded him to organize his school bag, he would say, there is plenty of time. When his teachers told him to prepare for an examination, Ahmed would smile and say, I still have many days. Ahmed loved playing football with his friends. He also enjoyed watching videos, playing games, and talking with his classmates. There was nothing wrong with enjoying these things, but Ahmed allowed them to take almost all of his time. His mother, Sarah, was a patient woman. Every morning she tried to teach Ahmed the importance of discipline. One morning she called him, Ahmed, wake up, you will be late for school. Ahmed opened his eyes and looked at the clock. I still have time, he said sleepily. Your school bus will arrive in 20 minutes. I can get ready quickly. He closed his eyes again. 10 minutes later, his mother returned. Ahmed, get up. This time, Ahmed jumped out of bed. He quickly washed his face, changed his clothes, grabbed his school bag, and ran outside. The bus was already leaving. Wait, Ahmed shouted. The driver stopped for a moment, and Ahmed managed to get on. He sat down, breathing heavily. His friend Hamza laughed. You are late again. Ahmed smiled. Don't worry, I made it. Hamza shook his head. One day you won't. Ahmed did not understand what his friend meant. He thought being late was a small problem. He did not know that small habit can eventually create big problems. At school, Ahmed's first lesson was mathematics. His teacher, Mr. Hassan, entered the classroom and wrote several questions on the board. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir, the students replied. Mr. Hassan looked at the class and said, Next week you will have your first major mathematics examination. The classroom became quiet. Ahmed looked at Hamza. 1 week? He whispered. Hamza nodded. That is enough. Ahmed smiled. Exactly. I can study 2 days before the exam. Mr. Hansen continued explaining the examination topics. Do not waste until the last moment. Study a little every day. If you prepare gradually, the examination will be much easier. Ahmed listened, but he did not take the warning seriously. That afternoon, when he returned home, his mother asked, How was the school? Fine. And she again asked, Did your teacher give you any homework? He said, Yes. Then finish it before you go outside. Ahmed dropped his bag on the chair. I'll do it later after lunch. His mother replied, After lunch. His friend Hamza came to his house. Ahmed, come outside. Everyone is playing football. Ahmed looked at his unfinished homework. I should finish this first. Hamza laughed. You always say that. Come on. Ahmed looked at the clock. I have plenty of time. He closed his notebook and ran outside. The boy played football for nearly 3 hours. When Ahmed returned home, the sun was beginning to set. His mother looked at him. Did you finish your homework? Ahmed suddenly remembered. Not yet. You promised me you would. I'll do it now. But after dinner, Ahmed felt tired. He opened his notebook. He completed one question, then another. Then he became bored. He looked at his phone. He decided to watch one short video. One video became five. Five became 10. Before he knew it, it was almost midnight. Ahmed closed his books. I'll finish it tomorrow. That became his favorite sentence. The following morning, Mr. Hassan entered the classroom, carrying a stack of papers. Class, I have an announcement. Everyone became silent. The mathematics examinations will be held this Friday. Ahmed looked surprised. Friday? Hamza whispered, That's only 3 days away. Ahmed suddenly became worried. He had planned to study during the entire week, but 3 days had already been wasted. He looked at his notebook. Many pages were still incomplete. Mr. Hassan noticed Ahmed's worried expressions. Ahmed, is something wrong? Ahmed replied, no, sir. Then Sir said, remember what I told you. Time does not wait for anyone. Ahmed noted. That afternoon he decided to study. He went home and opened his mathematics book. He studied for 20 minutes. Then he heard his friend outside. Ahmed, come play. Ahmed looked through the windows. His friends were standing in the street with a football. He thought for a moment, I'll study after playing. He ran outside. 2 hours later, he returned. Then he ate dinner. After dinner, he became tired again. He told himself he would wake early in the morning. But the next morning, his alarm rang. Ahmed turned it off. I'll sleep for 5 more minutes. He woke up 40 minutes later. He was late again. At school, Mr. Hassan gave him the class a short practice test. Ahmed stared at the questions. He knew he had seen them before, but he could not remember how to solve them. His heart sank. For the first time, Ahmed realized that his habit of delaying things was causing real problems. That evening, Ahmed went to visit his grandmother, whom everyone called Baba Kareem. His grandfather lived in a small house at the edge of the town. He was known for his wisdom and patience. When Ahmed arrived, he found his grandfather sitting near an old wooden clock. The clock had been in the family for many years. Ahmed sat beside him. Grandfather, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you think I have enough time to prepare for my examination? His grandfather smiled. That depends. On what? On what you do with the time you have. Ahmed remained silent. His grandfather pointed toward the cloak. Do you know why I keep this old cloak? Because it is valuable. Yes, but not because of the price. Then why? Because it reminds me that every second moves forward. The clock never asks whether we are ready, it simply continues. Ahmed looked at the moving clock. Tick, tick, tick. His grandfather continued. People often think they have ultimate time. They say, I will do it tomorrow, but tomorrow eventually becomes today, and today becomes yesterday. Ahmed lowered his head. I waste a lot of time. His grandfather smiled gently. Recognizing your mistake is the beginning of changing it. Can I change? Of course, but you must understand something. What? You cannot save time for tomorrow. Ahmed looked confused. His grandfather explained, you can save money, you can store food, you can keep books, but you cannot store today's hour and use it next week. Once an hour passes, it is gone forever. Ahmed looked at the clock again. For the first time, the sound of the clock felt different. It sounded like a reminder. Baba Kareem decided to tell Ahmed a story. Many years ago, he began, there were two boys named Salman and Bilal. They were both intelligent. They attended the same school. They had the same teachers. They lived in the same neighborhood. And they had the same number of hours in every day. Ahmed listened carefully. Salman understood that time was valuable. He divided his day carefully. He studied, helped his family, played with friends, and rested. Bilal was different. He always delayed his work. If he had homework, he said tomorrow. If he had an examination, he said, I will study later. If his father asked him to learn a skill, he said, I have plenty of time. Years passed, Salman continued using his time wisely. He learned new skills, read books, and worked hard. Bilal continued, delayed everything. One day, both boys wanted the same opportunity. But Salman was prepared, Bilal was not. Ahmed interrupted. Did Bilal fail because he was not intelligent? No, said his grandfather. He failed because he did not use his time properly. Ahmed thought about his own life. He was not less intelligent than his classmates. He simply had not used this time wisely. His grandfather concluded, remember this, Ahmed. Success is not always about having more talent. Sometimes it is about using ordinary time better than others. The examination was only a day away. Ahmed finally became serious. He returned home and told his mother, today I am going to study properly. His mother smiled. I am glad to hear that. Ahmed made a simple timetable. First, he would study mathematics, then, he would take a short break. After that, he would revise difficult topics. He placed his phone away from his desk. For the first time, he studied without unnecessary distractions. At first, it was difficult. He wanted to check his phone. He wanted to play. He wanted to leave the desk. But he reminded himself, I wasted many hours before. I should not waste another one. He studied for an hour, then another. He began understanding the topics. He solved practice questions. When he made mistakes, he corrected them. His mother brought him some food. You look serious today. Ahmed smiled. I should have done this earlier. His mother sat beside him. It is good that you have started now. I wish I had listened before. You cannot change yesterday, she said, but you can change today. Those words stayed in Ahmed's mind. He continued studying. That night, instead of staying awake until very late, he stopped at a reasonable time and went to sleep. He knew that being prepared also meant being rested. The next morning, he did not need his mother to wake him. He prepared calmly. He reached school before the bell, and when Mr. Hassan distributed the papers, Ahmed took a deep breath. He read the first question. He knew how to solve it. Then he asked, then the second, he knew that one too. His confidence grew. There were still difficult questions. He knew that one too. His confidence grew. There were still difficult questions, but he did not panic. He worked carefully until the end. When the examination finished, Ahmed handed in his paper. Outside the classroom, Hamza asked, How was it? Ahmed smiled, Much better than I expected. Did you know all the answers? No. Then why are you smiling? Because I prepared. A few days later, Mr. Hassan returned the examination papers. The students were excited. Ahmed receiving his paper, he looked at his marks. They were not the highest in the class, but they were much better than his previous results. More importantly, Ahmed felt proud. He had learned something before more valuable than mathematics. He had learned discipline. Mr. Hassan called him after class. Ahmed, you improved. Yes, sir. What changed? Ahmed smiled. I stopped waiting for tomorrow. Mr. Hassan nodded. That is an important lesson, Ahmed replied. I realized that I always thought I had more time, and now I understand that time is limited. From that day forward, Ahmed slowly changed his routine. He did not become perfect overnight. Sometimes he still wanted to play instead of studying. Sometimes he still delayed small tasks. But whenever he noticed himself saying, I'll do it later, he remembered the old clock. Tick, tick, tick. He began completing his homework before playing. He prepared his school bag at night. He arrived at school on time. He read for a few minutes every day. He helped his mother with household tasks. He still played football. He still enjoyed games. He still spent time with his friends. The difference was that he learned to manage his time instead of allowing time to manage him. His friends noticed the change. Hamza asked one afternoon, Why don't you stay outside as long as before? Ahmed laughed. I still play. I just finished my important work first. Isn't that boring? No, Ahmed replied. It actually gives me more free time because I don't have unfinished work worrying me. Hamza thought about it. Maybe you are right. Several months passed. One day, the school announced a science competition. Students could create a project and present it before a panel of judges. Ahmed wanted to participate. His first thought was, I don't have enough time. Then he remembered his grandfather's word, You cannot save today's time for tomorrow. Ahmed decided to participate. He planned his project carefully. Every day he worked on it for a short period. Some students waited until the last week. Ahmed did not. He worked consistently. When something went wrong, he had enough time to fix it. When he needed information, he had enough time to find it. When he made a mistake, he had enough time to try again. One day of the competition, Ahmed was ready. Some students were still trying to complete their projects. Ahmed realized that preparation was simply another way of respecting time. The competition began in the school hall. Students stood beside their projects. Teacher and judges walked from the table to table. When the judges reached Ahmed, they asked several questions. Ahmed answered calmly. One judge asked, How long did it take you to prepare this project? Ahmed replied, about 3 weeks. Did you work every day? Not all day, but I worked regularly. The judge smiled. That is a very good approach. After all the students had presented their projects, the judges announces the results. Ahmed won second place. His classmates congratulated him. Hamza ran toward him. You did it. Ahmed smiled. I was lucky. No, Hamza said. You were prepared. Ahmed thought about that. His friend was right. The result was not simply luck, it was the result of many small periods of time used wisely. That evening, Ahmed visited Baba Karim. His grandfather was sitting beside the same old clock. Ahmed told him about the competition. His grandfather smiled properly. You have learned the lesson. I think I have. Tell me, what is the value of at time? Ahmed thought for a moment. Time gives us opportunity. Good. What else? If we waste it, we lose opportunities. Good. And if we use it wisely, even small amount of time can help us achieve something important. His grandfather noted. Exactly. Ahmed looked at the clock. Tick, tick, tick. He smiled. I used to hate that sound. Why? Because it reminded me that time was passing. And now I like it. His grandfather laughed. Why? Because it reminds me to make good use of time I have. Years later, Ahmed became a successful young man. He remembered the lesson his mother and grandfather had always taught him. One day, he received a letter from his old school. The school was organizing a special event about personal development, and the principal invited Ahmed to speak to younger students. Ahmed accepted. When he stood before the students, he looked at their curious faces. He began, when I was your age, I thought time was something I had plenty of. The student smiled. I thought there would always be another day. I delayed homework. I arrived late. I prepared at last moment. I wasted hours without realizing their value. Then Ahmed paused. But one day I understood something important. He pointed toward the clock on the classroom wall. Time is fair. It gives every person the same 24 hours in a day. The students listened carefully. Some people use those hours to learn. Some use them to help others. Some use them to build skills. Some waste them. But at the end of the day, everyone has spent the same 24 hours. One student raised his hand. Does that mean we should work all the time? Emma smiled. No. Valuing time does not mean working every minute. Rest is important, family is important, friendship is important, play is important, enjoyment is important. The lesson is not to stop enjoying life. The lesson is to avoid wasting your time without realizing it. The students nodded. Ahmed continued. Make time for your responsibility. Make time for learning. Make time for people you care. Make time for rest. But do not keep saying, I will do it tomorrow, when you can do something useful today. After speech, one student approached Ahmed. Sir, what is the most valuable thing a person can have? Ahmed thought carefully. Many things are valuable, he said. Knowledge is valuable, health, family, friendship are valuable. But there is something that connects them all. What is it? Time. The student looked confused. Ahmed explained, you need time to gain knowledge. You need time to build relationships. You need time to develop skills. You need time to help others. You need time to correct your mistakes. And once time has passed, you cannot buy it back. The student nodded slowly. Ahmed looked at the clock. He remembered himself as a young boy running late for school and saying, I still have time. He smiled at the memory. He had finally understood what those words really meant. Years earlier, Ahmed had believed that the time was simply the ticking of a clock. Now he understood that the time was much more. Time was opportunity. Time was growth. Time was learning. Time was family. Time was friendship. Time was the chance to become a better person. Every morning brought a new beginning. Every hour brought a choice a person could waste or use it. The choice was often small: read a few pages or scroll endlessly, finish the assignment or keep delaying, prepare today or panic tomorrow, help someone or ignore them, wake up on time or sleep unnecessarily. Small choices seemed unimportant at first, but small choices repeated every day became habits. Ahmed never forgot the lesson of the old clock. Whenever he heard a clock ticking, he remembered, tick, a moment has passed, tick, another moment is passing, tick, another opportunity is here. Time does not stop for anyone. It does not care whether someone is rich or poor, young or old, success or unsuccessful. Everyone receives time, but nobody knows exactly how much time they will have. This is why every day should treat it as valuable, not because we should fear time, but because we should appreciate it.